Welcome back. You're watching Commodity Champions, and the country's rice exporters may have something to cheer for soon. Reports suggest that the government is likely to relax export restrictions on surplus rice stocks, and this is before the arrival of the new crop in the market in the month of October. Well, to discuss this and the expectations from the budget, we are now joined by Mr. Prem Garg. He's National President of the India Rice Exporters Federation. Dr. Garg, hi, thank you so much for joining us. Well, first of all, on the exports, because the whole industry seems to be buzzing on this. We've seen rice prices, rice stocks do quite well. What are you hearing, and what are the kind of presentations that you've made in this regard?
Okay, Manisha ji is very good about this budget session before we are talking, because rice industry, we need lot of things with the government, because definitely we have to demand with the government only, and we expected for our industry, first of all, on the rice to calm down the domestic prices, etc. If they can remove GST 5%, because right now the Indian this GST is a very comfortable zone, and government is collecting lot of GST, and rice industry GST 5% is not a big amount. So first over means demand with the government 5% GST they remove completely on the rice. Secondly, export duty, either they fix the export duty maximum $90 per metric ton on white rice and parboiled rice, and or either completely they remove the export duty, because right now we are very comfortable on the rice stocks. Freely allowed export of rice, service tax on 18% on some export services, which we require as a exporters. Service tax should be removed and make it more easy for exporters to make it happen, means competitive in the world, as we are exporting about 22 million ton every year. So by removing all these things, definitely we can achieve up to 25 million ton a year. Earlier, we are the number one last so many years in the world exporters in the world, like we are exporting 40% total world trade of the rice, which will reduce from last 20th July of 2023, because Indian government put in some ban and export duty, etc. So our business gone to other neighboring countries like Pakistan, Burma, Thailand, Vietnam, which we can achieve again, because we have our crops are very comfortable.
Right.
And right now, as I mentioned this, we are going to achieve, instead of 135 million ton, our coming crop, we are expecting about 141 to 142 million ton. So where we have the surplus near about 30 million ton after our buffer stocks, which definitely a big burden of the government if they cannot think on that. And we expected out of this budget, if government can remove all this duty and reduce the duty, or either GST also, that will help to the agriculture sector, farmers. Farmers can grow more, means the attention they will give to the rice crops. And okay, this is only not rice crop government is looking, they are looking on the pulses, because they don't want to import the pulses.
Right.
So definitely once they give the agriculture more visibility, like the removal of this again GST and other kind of taxes or service taxes, etc.
Would be very comfortable for the industry. Well, yes. So, you know, Dr. Garg, the other thing is, while we've been waiting for all of these announcements to come, are you looking at most of these going through by the budget, or do you think this can happen outside the budget as well by the month of July or August? Because as you said, the new crop comes in by October.
No, definitely government, we are looking this export duty side. I think we are looking in next coming of week or 2 weeks. But in the budget, if the government bring all these things, it's, we welcome all these things, because the budget is very, very near. So it's, we request to the government if they can do in this budget, and it's very good for the industry. And, you know, also we require, means on the government in the budget, if they can put some kind of restrictions on the pesticide, which we are using in the rice industry, definitely will increase the production and the export and value addition in the European market, US market, and the different market. Okay. Because right now we are very behind because of this pesticide, because pesticides, they have to stop completely in agri sector. and this is harmful for the human being. So we
It is.
require in the budget, if they can bring, is very helpful for the industry.
All right. So the kind of fertilizers and pesticides used in the food products is one thing to watch out for. But Dr. Garg, I can assure you this one thing, that a lot of people would be keenly hearing the finance minister as she talks about commodities and especially rice, because that clearly has been making a lot of headlines in the last many weeks now. But thank you so much for joining us and clearly articulating on what to expect and what are the representations that rice as a sector is right now putting to the finance minister. Well,